Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession is about to enter the hall. We will be singing the national anthem. The words are on page 11 of the program. Please be upstanding for the academic procession and remain standing for the national anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. With joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia
I, Kevin John Scarce, Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation convened for the purposes of presenting degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, relatives, friends, and most especially our graduates, welcome to this afternoon ceremony. We acknowledge the Kaurna people, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plain and the lands upon which the university campuses are built. It is my great pleasure to introduce Uncle Rod to welcome us to country.
Machawanga Ganamena, Naiwangani, Mani Nabudni, Gani Yatana, Nabeka Mankalankla, Tandanyanka Miyanaku, Nature Yungandaya, Nature Yakandaya, Padniadu Wadu. On behalf of the Kaurna people, I welcome you to Kaurna country. I do this Ambassador of the Adelaide Plains people. My brothers, my sisters, let's walk together in harmony. See you.
Thank you, Uncle Rod. Firstly, might I start by offering my congratulations to all of the graduates. Today is a day of pride and satisfaction for you, no doubt shared by your family and loved ones. Graduation days are often days of reflection, a reflection of what you've achieved in the past, but perhaps more importantly, the opportunity and challenges ahead. Please don't be seduced by the negativism of the media. We live in a wonderful country, blessed with abundant resources, with people who are hardworking, resourceful and resilient. Previous generations have laid the foundation for our success, and now you, armed with new skills and knowledge, have your opportunity to contribute. And as you do think about the future, I hope part of that might be to service people who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I look forward to presenting your degree shortly, but before doing so, I'd invite the Vice-Chancellor and President to introduce our honorary doctor.
Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Julia Eileen Gillard for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa. Ms Gillard has made a significant contribution to Australian public life and to building Australia's place in the world. She is, of course, best known to us all as Australia's 27th Prime Minister and the first, and so far only, female Prime Minister of our country. In filling that role, she continues a remarkable tradition of inclusion for which the University of Adelaide is well known. We were the first university in Australia, one of the very first in all of the world, to admit women to degrees, some 50 years before Oxford and Cambridge. The first female QC in Australia is a University of Adelaide's alumnus, as is the first female Chancellor of an Australian university, the first female Governor of an Australian state, the first female Attorney General of South Australia. The first Indigenous Rhodes Scholar in Australia is a University of Adelaide alumnus, as is the first female Indigenous Rhodes Scholar. Julia has perhaps reached the pinnacle of that pantheon. More importantly, she's the only person since Federation to jointly serve as Prime Minister and as the #1 ticket holder for the Western Bulldogs Football Club. We're not sure which gave her more anxious moments. This kind of affinity with a uniquely Australian sport seemed unlikely when she was born in rugby-mad Wales. But at the age of 5, Julia migrated with her family to Adelaide to start a new life. Educated at Mitcham Demonstration School and Unley High School, then the University of Adelaide and the University of Melbourne, she completed degrees in law and arts and developed skills in politics and public policy, working with the Australian Union of Students. She served as President of the Union for 2 years. In 1987, Ms Gillard joined the law firm Slater and Gordon, specialising in industrial law and becoming a partner in 1990. But politics was calling her. In 1996, she became Chief of Staff to the leader of the Labor Party in Victoria, John Brumby, and 2 years later, she was elected to Australia's House of Representatives as the new member for Laylaw. She joined Shadow Cabinet in 2001, and after the Labor Party's victory at the 2007 election, was appointed Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Education, Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations, and Minister for Social Inclusion. On the 24th of June 2010, she became Prime Minister, a role she was to fill with distinction. Under her leadership, Australia weathered the global financial crisis, built new relationships in Asia, while also strengthening ties with traditional allies, and made exciting advances in such areas as health and disability care, telecommunications, and environmental sustainability. She championed many nation-changing policies, including reforming education at every level, including university. In fact, under Julia's tenure, higher education was made available to many more Australians than ever before, as is needed in the world today, and as will build the platform for the social cohesion we seek into the future. Ms. Gillard retired from politics in August 2013, and the following month accepted the title of Honorary Visiting Professor at the University of Adelaide, contributing to the fields of history and politics within the Faculty of Arts. Since then, she has made direct and ongoing contributions to the university and to a great many students. She has a genuine and passionate commitment to promoting the importance of education to society, and this is reflected in the other key roles she fills at the Brookings Institute in Washington, as patron of CAMFED, the Campaign for Female Education, as the inaugural chair of the Global Institute for Women's Leadership at King's College in London, as the chair of Beyond Blue, Australia's leading mental health awareness body. On Australia Day 2017, Ms. Gillard was awarded a Companion of the Order of Australia. She is a wonderful story about how a South Australian background and a University of Adelaide education can take you wherever you wish to go, including the opportunity to contribute with great meaning to the socio-economic well-being of an entire nation. Chancellor, in 2013, the university presented Ms. Gillard with a Distinguished Alumni Award in recognition of her leadership and outstanding contribution in the field of public service. We would now like to acknowledge further her exceptionally distinguished service to Australian society and to the university. Chancellor, I am very pleased and proud to present to you the Honourable Julia Eileen Gillard, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Arts, Companion of the Order of Australia, for admission to the honorary degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to introduce today's orator, the Honourable Julia Gillard.
Thank you very much. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and in a spirit of reconciliation, pay my respects to elders past and present. Thank you for the welcome to country. Thank you so much to the Chancellor, to the Vice-Chancellor and President, to the Deputy Chancellor, to the whole Adelaide University community for this very great honour that you pay me today. I am delighted to be here and to join with you in this graduation ceremony, which I know marks an incredibly important stage in the life of so many of the people I see sitting before me now. I first gave a speech in this hall the best part of 40 years ago. Hopefully you're all now thinking to yourself, she must have come here for a school function. Unfortunately, that's not true. I gave a speech here almost 40 years ago as an undergraduate who was invited to speak at a graduation ceremony. Once again, a very great honour. I was completely terrified to address an audience of this size back then. And a photograph was taken that day, which was published, of this terrified young woman standing alongside the then Chancellor John Bray and the then Vice-Chancellor Don Strang, who looked for all the world like jailers who had turned up from the Middle Ages to take me into custody as I had this terrified expression on my face. All of these years later, I come before you slightly less worried about public speaking than I was then, and I am very grateful that I've joined the community in wearing the full academic dress. Thank you for that. When I think back on my years here at Adelaide University, it is always with a sense of having won life's lottery, that to be here was to really be dealt a handful of aces in life. I never took the privilege of being here for granted. And I never took it for granted because in so many ways it was an unexpected privilege. When my family migrated here from Wales in 1966, we didn't know anything about Adelaide. My parents were simply picking a place name off a map. They'd met a Welsh couple who lived here, and that was good enough for them. They came to Adelaide. And they then picked the suburb in which they would buy our family home and we would live, once again with very little knowledge of Adelaide's demographics. Fortunately for me, for my sister Alison, who is here today, for both of us, the schools that we went to in that local community were great schools. We just went to the local public schools literally at the end of our road, and they were fantastic schools. And such fantastic schools that they enabled me to get the kind of mark in matriculation, as it was then called, to come here to Adelaide University to study law and to study arts. And I've reflected deeply over my lifetime, what if any of those things had been different? What if our parents had decided not to migrate? What if they'd picked a different Australian city? What if they'd picked a different suburb and the schools had not been great schools? What life would I have lived then? So already when I came here as an undergraduate, I had that sense of privilege of having been very lucky in life. But that didn't fix the fear. It was a scary place to be, particularly scary when your family didn't have any long-term tradition of university education. We couldn't ask our parents about it. They hadn't finished secondary school. We couldn't ask any of our extended family about it because they all lived in Wales and in any event were not the kind of people who had gone to university. And so this was a voyage of discovery. And it taught me that, coming here, being somewhat scared and daunted by being here, it taught me about what it was to step forward as an adult, what it was to find self-confidence, what it was to navigate a new environment. And those skills that I learned here at Adelaide University have been with me across my topsy-turvy life and have stood me in good stead every step of the way. And beyond that sense of maturing self-confidence, what Adelaide University gave me was the discovery of my sense of purpose, what I was here on this earth for, what it was that was going to matter to me across my lifetime. Now, I'm sure my law lecturers would now like to hear me say my sense of purpose was found in the law library looking up arcane cases, but that wasn't the truth. I'm sure that my economics lecturers would like to hear me say, as I puzzled over statistics and econometrics, I found a sense of purpose, but that wasn't the truth either. I found my sense of purpose here at Adelaide University by becoming involved in the activities of university life, most particularly lifting my voice in an education funding campaign that happened in the second year of my university career. So by the time I'd worked out how not to get lost on the campus, I was then getting swept up in this campaign. And I was swept up in that campaign because from my background, I believed it was wrong that a government would cut back education in a way which would prejudice the ability of ordinary people to go, people just like me. And being involved in that protest campaign, as humble as it was, is the thing that really shaped every part of my destiny post-Adelaide University. I came to understand that if you are a citizen who raises your voice, who gets involved in something that motivates you and ultimately comes to have meaning for others, that you can make a difference. You can change the nation. Back then, some university students working with some academics, did change the nation. We got the government to change its mind about some of the cutbacks that it was planning. And from there, I moved on into ever more, interesting, varied, different public policy activities, firstly here at Adelaide University, and then ultimately on the national stage through the Australian Union of Students. And that is what propelled me onto the life that saw me become firstly Deputy Prime Minister and then Prime Minister. So I owe a great debt of gratitude to this institution. And I hope for those of you who are graduating today that this great place has helped shape your sense of purpose too, that you leave here clearer about what it is you want to do and what contribution you want to make to our nation and to our world in the future. If you haven't found that here, then it's never too late. There's always life's opportunities and life's moments to reflect deeply on what you want your life to count for. But as you do that, as you move from this place, I know this day and the achievement that this day marks in your life will stay with you. In my life now, I travel to a lot of education institutions, but not many of them are as glamorous as this hall at the University of Adelaide. My life takes me to schools in developing countries where we are still trying to deal with the challenge that in our world today, 260 million children of school age who should be in a classroom aren't. And if nothing changes, they'll never see the inside of a classroom. They'll never get an education. So, whilst we live in a wonderful, prosperous, peaceful place, we should never forget that there are those around the world for whom the most basic things, getting to finish primary school, getting to go to secondary school, getting to finish secondary school, let alone go on to university, are still beyond their reach, not through any fault of their own, but because our world doesn't today afford them that basic entitlement, that basic right, that basic justice. So much to do to change the outlook in our world so that every child is valued, every child gets the kind of chance that I got, going to the schools that I went to and then getting to come here. It's in that spirit that, with a great sense of pleasure, I accept this honorary doctorate. I'm very pleased and proud to be maintaining my connection to this university. It happens now when I give a public lecture here once a year. It happens when I have the opportunity to speak in front of classes each semester. It happens because interns join my office and make a contribution and do some research work, and it's always a pleasure to have them. It happens too because in my family life, my niece, Dr. Jenna Malone, is at this university at the Waite Agricultural Research Institute. And I've said it before, but let me embarrass her one more time by saying it again. Towards even the end of his life, my father would say, when asked to reflect on our family and its journey, he would say, well, Julia's done very well for herself, but Jenna, she's the smart one because she got the doctorate. Thank you for at least affording me some equivalence in that. Thank you so much.
On behalf of the graduates and their families attending today's ceremony, I would like to thank the Honourable Julia Gillard for her stimulating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on this special day to share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon each of us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in whatever way we can. Please join me in once again thanking the Honourable Julia Gillard.
I will now receive candidates for degrees. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor and President.
Chancellor, I, Professor Peter Rathjen, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, certify to you and the whole university that the graduates who will be presented to you have all fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the award for which they are so presented.
I, Kevin John Scarce, Chancellor of the University, by virtue of the power committed to me by the University, Confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide for which they are so presented. I call upon the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Keith Jones, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, I, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Sciences, Professor Keith Jones, present to you graduates from the Faculty of Sciences. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Wildlife Conservation Biology, Jane Catherine Cameron. Sienna Ella Gardner. Lillian Alice McIntosh. Keisha Huang Nigen. Andrew John Forrester Payton. Tia Pepe. Erin Bronte Robinson. And Luke Wagonet. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Space Science and Astrophysics, Adila Binti Abdul Halim. Samuel David Barclay Edwards. And Ella Jacqueline Roberts. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Laser Physics and Technology, Nicholas Ross Phillips. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nanoscience and Materials, Trent Russell Chase. Mitchell Johnson. And Bingchen Wang. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Molecular Biology, also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Claudia Niemit. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Molecular and Drug Design, also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Jarrell Christian Alonson. Nagib Adrian Almas. Matthew Alexander Coleman. Jack Close. And Alana Varicchio. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Mineral Geoscience, Chris Joshua Cruz. Edward Hugh Ellis Flint. Chloe Karen Horn-Smith. Jacob Hendrikus Kays. Savannah Rose Liebelt. Jordan Ryan McEwen. Braden Joel Morgan. Cameron Peter Warren. And Jameson Mainman Woolcock. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Marine Biology, Christian James Chaplain. William Seo Hua Go. Angus Mitchell. And Joseph Boyston Widrington. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Evolutionary Biology, Rebecca Claire Lewis. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Biotechnology, Lachlan Warren William Bear. Benjamin James George. Imogen Kate Winsborough. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Biomedical Science, Nethmi Adenaki. Vinu Anthony Parakel. Jayshan Krista Aradkumar. Chi Yan O. Warissa Chanthet. Chiang Suet Wing. Kelly Lee Ferguson. Francesca Sim Shin Ni. Andrew Mark Hales. Liana Jiang. Sarah Jaisur. Eleanor Jones-Gray. Caitlin Tian Kelly. Kelvin Lim Jin Kai. Wanakorn Win Kit Jong Tha Wonkle. Ting Him Lee. Li Man Ying. Wing Yan Yvonne Low. Remy Elise McGrath. Mohammed Lutfi Mohammed Halim. Linda Thi Luang Nguyen. Alex Adrian Pace. Braden David Rose. Iyad Anasa Sadeo. Isabella Shada Singh. Ariane Joy Tackle Thomas. Darcy Morgan Howard Watson. Brady Lee Welsh. Joe Earn Wong. Bing Wu. Hong Zhan. And Jiren Zheng. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, William Charles Abbott. Isaac Cassin Axford. James Luke Bashara. Christopher Boutsalis. Michael John Crane. Harris Taylor Cretendon. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Jacinta Caitlin Dockerell. Ryan James Dye. Ederu Kayamo Benz. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, James Eglinton. Tara Allison Evans. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Claire Grace Filsell. Tyler J. Follett. Alexander Harvey. Also receiving the Diploma in Languages, Catherine Frances Hills. Shiana Lee Hosking. Brandon James Keane. Christopher Clement Keneally. Madeline Waiting Cole. Nicola Emma Lynn. Xiao Xiao Long. Hayley Marie Maidman. Bethany Jane Marks Mildren. Stacey Anita Matthews. Daniel Mulwini. Andrew Evan McDougall. Megan Grace McCavin. Laura Rose McGee. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Daphne Teresa Cullen MacLeod. Timothy John Anhu Moy. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Kate Emily Needley. Nufar Ray Habinti Nurazia. Michael Patrick Papazoglu. Also receiving the honours degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Harrison Luke Penfold. Emma Jane Perfetto. Angus Eugene Ritalik. Kalimna Marion Rose Simmons. Selena Adele Rosa Sanso. Emily Nicole Satchel. Liam Scarabotti. Michael Alfred Scholik. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Claire Victoria Schubert. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Leslie Thornton. Alexander Miguel Wheatley. Ella Rose Taylor Wilby. Emily Kate Wilkinson. And Vasiliki June Willett. To the degree of Bachelor of Science Advanced, Thomas Edward Anthony. George Antonio. Esther Beltrami. Ebony Catherine Browers. Emily Rose Bubner. Erin Georgia Carney Bronca. Aidan Ian Chrysanthopoulos. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Mathematical and Computer Sciences, Rose Joy Crocker. Michael Anthony Kutufia. Jessica Michelle de la Parelle. Joseph Bailey Dragovelic. Danielle Jade Edwards. Stephanie Corrine Eglinton. Shannon Mariella Evenden. Claire Alice Finn. Chloe Gates. Ewan Gherkin. Luke Guras. Alison Rose Gill. Gianne Hohen Haysbrook. Calvin John Heath. Sydney John Deland Heitman. James Mark Hodgkinson Bean. Riley John Hodgson. Kenneth Joshua Jacks. Olivia Lenore Johnson. Ali Casey. Paris Marie Collis. Xing Yang Guang. Molly Lloyd. Leslie Mona Marker. Christine Natasha Massoff. Megan Makeo. Deanna Catherine Miller. Jack Anthony Moran. Anna Jane Mullin. Daniel Raymond Overend. Jack Reeford Parsons. Rihanna Louise Penfold. Cleopatra Pericleris. Ethan Joel Puckridge. Smiti Singh. Lily Aline Taylor. Holly Amber Withers. And Vanessa Walk. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Science, High Performance Computational Physics, Curtis Abel. Nisha Bartalan. Thomas Liam Howson. Adam George Lineweber. And Bradley Mark Wegener. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Science, Bianca Agenbag. Timothy Patrick Allen. Tia Louise Bampton. George Batzios. Luke James Bredberg. Corey Bridger. Dylan Brown. Catherine Alexandra Brown. Thomas Robert Carter. Tiffany Ann Collins. Rebecca Taylor Denise. Kari Samuel Desai. Daniel Raymond Devison. Daniel Zoki Doherty. Brant Dolick. Lara Downing. Thao Hong Duong. Nathan Toshihiro Eden. Adrian Michael Eath. Simon Fahi Sparks. Fang Niwen Danielle. Lisa Joy Flanagan. Saskia Gerhardi. Hannah Gordon. Philip Timothy Grace. Jacob David Hart. Celeste Kylie Hill. Catherine Georgia Weston Hill. Kei Hee Yi Ho. Shan Wang. Lauren Louise Hunter. Paris Constance Jeffries. Bianca Jong. Aurelie Muffet Kanishka. Rasha Cardo. Talia Louise Kennewell. Emily Nicole Kirby. Juki Lee. Thomas Michael Litster. James Henry Lovett. Also receiving the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ethan Lachlan Macareth. Benjamin James Madigan. Ricky Anton Matthias. Sarah Alexandra MacDonald. Daniel Patrick McDougall. Jamie Alexander McInnes. Jeffrey Paul McNulty. Olivia Gabriella Messenger. Caitlin Simone Mudge. James Henry Nankervell. Alexander Atasevich. Daniel Philip Peterson. Nikita Jade Pring. Also receiving the degrees of Bachelor of Teaching and Bachelor of Science, Brock Thomas Rogers. Costa Georgianne Sarakinis. Nicholas Henry Schnell. Damien Stahura. Darwiniji Subaka. Narita Kai Turner. Cassandra Shannon Erg. Jacinta Annie Watts. Sarah Martha Wattsdorf. And Yi Heng Wong. To the Graduate Certificate in Physics, Magyashali Maduka Birajda. Kimberly Allison Elk Legg. And Amrita Pandey. To the Graduate Certificate in Biotechnology, Biomedical, Somaya Hadalat Pushpapkam. To the degree of Master of Biotechnology, Biomedical, Karen Ching Ki Hong. Yi Fai Hu. King Ho Leong. Tabassum Ben Amabudia Musa. Olivia Pei Ying O. And Yan Zhao. To the degree of Master of Philosophy for a thesis entitled A New Empirical Climatological Model of Ionospheric FOF2 and HMF2 and Review of the International Reference Ionosphere, Daniel Field. For a thesis entitled Investigating the Function of Single-Pass Leucine-Rich Repeat Transmembrane Proteins in Cell Signaling and Early Neural Development, Sean Murray Gaskin. For a thesis entitled Harnessing P450 Enzymes as Biocatalysts for Selective CH Bond Hydroxylation, Zhou Hong Zhang Li. For a thesis entitled Investigating the Effect of Primordial Black Hole Hawking Radiation on the Cosmic Microwave Background, Harry David Poulter. For a thesis entitled Synchronization on Non-Compact Manifolds, Louis Mitchell Ritchie. And for a thesis entitled Electrokinetic Methods and Applications in Australian Aquifer Settings, High-Dimensional Electrical Tomography Imaging and Neural Network Filtration Techniques, Joseph Rugari. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Investigation of a Low Molecular Weight Protein Tyrosine Phosphatase in Streptococcus pneumoniae, Dr. Zuliza Ahmed. For a thesis entitled Advances in Magnetotelluric Modeling, Time-Lapse Inversion, Bayesian Inversion, and Machine Learning, Dr. Dennis John Conway. For a thesis entitled The Evolution of Cutaneous Senses in Marine Snakes, Hydrophinine, Dr. Jenna Crow-Riddell. For a thesis entitled Enhancement of Pathogen-Specific Immunity following co-administration of whole inactivated respiratory vaccines, Dr. Shannon Krista David. for a thesis entitled New and Refined Tools and Guidelines to Expand the Scope and Improve the Reproducibility of Paleomicrobiological Research, Dr. Raphael Alexandra Eisenhofer Filipona. For a thesis entitled Biodiversity, Taxonomy and Systematics of Australian Microgastrine Parasitoid Wasps, Dr. Erin Petter Fagan-Jeffries. For a thesis entitled Spatiotemporal, Multicellular and Monte Carlo Track-Based Model of Radiotherapy in Silico, Dr. Jake Cameron Forster. For a thesis entitled Photoionization and Density Functional Theory Studies of Gold-Doped Cerium Oxide Clusters, Dr. Robert Allen Hardy. For a thesis entitled Development of an Erbium-Doped YAG Laser for Range Finding, Dr. Lachlan Mitchell-Harris. For a thesis entitled Contributions to the Systematics and Biogeography of the Mygalomorph Spider Families, Migidae and Idiopidae in Australia, Dr. Sophie Ellen Harrison. For a thesis entitled Disruption of Carbon Catabolite Repression and Investigation of Amylase Gene Duplication in the Fermentous Fungus Aspergillus oryzae, Dr. Adrian James Hunter. For a thesis entitled Co-Evolution of Rabbits and the Rabbit Hemorrhagic Disease Virus, RHDV, in Australia, Dr. Amy Rebecca Ianella. For a thesis entitled The Impact of Transposable Elements on Amniote Evolution, Dr. Lu Zheng. For a thesis entitled Structural and Biochemical Studies on 3 Aspergillus fumigatus proteins that present as targets for novel antifungal drugs, Dr. Andrew Craig Marshall. For a thesis entitled Clumped Planting Arrangements can improve the ecological function of revegetated eucalypt woodlands, Dr. Kimberly Peter McCallum. For a thesis entitled An Integrated Approach to Assess Pupping Areas and Natal Origins in a Conservation-Dependent Shark, Galeorhinus galeus, Dr. Matthew Nielsen Macmillan. For a thesis entitled A Study of the Lambda 1405 in Lattice QCD, Dr. Benjamin Mason Menadue. For a thesis entitled Roles and Regulation of Sphingosine Kinase 2 in Cancer, Dr. Heidi Ann Newbar. for a thesis entitled Biogeochemical Cycling of Gold, exploring the links between gold transformation, microbial communities, biogeochemical processes, and mineralization style, Dr. Maria Angelica del Rosario Rea. For a thesis entitled Mouse Genome Modification and Investigation of Episodic Disease, Dr. Louise Jane Robertson. For a thesis entitled Southern Hairy-Nosed Wombats, When, Where, How Many and Why, Dr. Michael Swinburne. For a thesis entitled Contributions to the Cenoic Macrofossil Record of the Mitosi in Southeast Australia, Dr. Mile Alexander Tarrant. For a thesis entitled The Genetic Basis of Malformation of Cortical Development Syndromes, primary focus on Aicardi syndrome, Dr. Thi Thuong Ha. For a thesis entitled The Role of Phytoplankton as Precursors for Disinfection by Product Formation upon Chlorination, Dr. Adam John Tomlinson. And for a thesis entitled Response of Temperate Marine Food Webs to Climate Change and Ocean Acidification, Bridging the Gap Between Experimental Manipulation and Complex Food Webs, Dr. M.D. Hayadet Ullah. To the degree of Doctor of Science in the Faculty of Sciences, for a thesis entitled The Lives of Animals and Animals in Our Lives, Dr. Christopher Brian Daniels. Chancellor. This concludes the graduates from the Faculty of Sciences and for this ceremony.
Chancellor, every year the university presents university medals to acknowledge the most outstanding graduates in each faculty who have completed a University of Adelaide bachelor's degree with honours or bachelor's degree of at least 4 years duration. The university medals are awarded to them for their consistent outstanding performance across the whole of their undergraduate studies. I, Professor Peter Rathjen, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, present to you a recipient of the 2018 University Medal from the Faculty of Science, Philip Timothy Grace. Chancellor, University Doctoral Research Medals are awarded to graduates who have completed outstanding research at doctoral level. This award is the premier award for doctoral candidates at the university. I, Professor Peter Rathjen, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Adelaide, present to you recipients of the 2018 University Doctoral Research Medal for research in the field of genetics, genomics and evolution, Erin Peter Fagan-Jeffries. research in the field of physics, Fong Hui Nguyen.
I'm very pleased to present to you this afternoon Dr. Jake Cameron Forster, who was presented this afternoon with the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Jake Cameron Forster will now give the valedictory address on behalf of the cohort of graduates who were presented with their awards this afternoon.
So thank you for the opportunity to represent my fellow graduates and present the valedictory speech. It is my great privilege to do so. I would like to congratulate all of the graduates and extend my thanks to everyone who shared in and supported your journeys. Let us celebrate our achievements and take some time to appreciate the culmination of all our hard work over the last 3 or so years. I'm going to share some of my experiences at uni, both good and bad, and hope that some of you can relate. So first, some quick background on my education. When I started uni, I didn't know exactly where I was going to end up. I just knew I liked physics, so I did a general Bachelor of Science. One of the great things about uni is that it lets you figure out things as you go. So it gives you a taste of lots of different things, and then you can go in the directions that grab you most. So I majored in physics, and then I did an honours year in theoretical physics. I then changed direction and did a PhD in medical physics, enticed by the prospect of working in a hospital and using radiation to image and treat diseases. So how was my PhD experience? Well, there were many good things. I was lucky to have few external commitments, so I could give the work my undivided attention. I appreciated the flexibility to do the work whenever I wanted, not restricted by conventional hours. I was fortunate to have extremely competent and generous PhD supervisors, to whom I am deeply indebted, who inspired me and made the work enjoyable. And one of my favorite things about the PhD was having the opportunity to travel interstate and overseas to present work at conferences, which has given me wonderful lifelong memories. On the negative side, there were bursts of pressure and frantic work. It could be lonely work. I had to learn to live frugally, and I lost my hair. I'm sure some of this is familiar to many of the graduates. So, how do we manage? Well, credit must go to our friends and family for providing support. For myself, their support, as well as support from my supervisors and colleagues, was critical. Today is a good time to think about everyone who helped you get through and to thank them. It's likely that we all made some sacrifices along the way too, like abstaining from a social life, either because the 9-hour workday changed to a 14-hour one, or simply because you couldn't afford to go out. But look at what has come from those sacrifices. You have a tangible achievement that reflects the knowledge, skills, and experiences you have gained. Your study has given you the foundation to commence your professional life. Hopefully you feel it was worthwhile. Importantly, it shows that you can start a major endeavor and finish it. You overcame all of the hurdles and difficulties that presented along the way, both the ones that you expected and ones you didn't. Let it give you confidence that you can continue to achieve and overcome obstacles in the future. I'll fondly remember my time of study, the people I met, and the wide range of experiences that uni provided to me, which helped me to learn and grow as a person. I encourage you to reflect on your own personal journey, to recall all of your hard work, the sacrifices that you made, the people who helped you get you here, and the things that you have achieved. Moving forward, be confident in yourself and your ability to apply yourself equally well in future endeavors. You deserve to take a moment to slow down, take in all of your achievements, and celebrate them. I hope there are many more achievements to celebrate in the future. Congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Now it gives me great pleasure to congratulate all of our new graduates here today. Be proud of what you've worked to achieve. Remember those who've supported you to reach this end. I wish you every success over the next exciting phase of your life and career. As graduates of the University of Adelaide, you are its alumni and ambassadors. Over the years since the university was established, its alumni have made an enormous contribution both here in this community, throughout the world, and today you join a community of over 150,000 alumni located in 80 countries throughout the globe. Can I acknowledge and thank our mace bearer and our valedictorian, to congratulate all of our prize winners today. Whilst we have acknowledged the individual achievements of our graduates, I think we would all accept the fact that they would not be here today without the drive, the passion of our academic staff, and I hope that you would join me in thanking them for their contribution. Now, I'd like the graduates to remain seated, for everyone else to rise, and join me in once again congratulating our graduates on their achievements. Would the audience remain standing? Our graduates now please stand for the academic recession. I now declare this congregation adjourned.